Welcome back, everybody, to the LPL. We head into our third and final game of the day, or series of the day, I should say. JDG versus EDG. And as you can see, the draft is well and truly underway. We are playing catch-up a little bit here. It's 0909 second series for EDG. And TheSnake, for the second time recently, will be playing that Ziggs.
Hey, he's got 55.6% win rate. Just had a quick look because I really dig the Ziggs in the bot lane. I feel like it's a very similar type of a champion to a Tristana. Loves eating towers alive.
Yeah.
Great at shoving in, especially after you have your Lost Chapter, a little bit of mana in your kit. So I love that for you. But you are also very extremely immobile on this champion. So you've got stuff from the side of JDG that can literally catch you off guard, like the Annie so far. Zinzal jumping on you, as well as the Varus chain.
Oh, go on, Missing. Go, please go Thresh. Oh. Please go Thresh. Missing's Thresh is so quality. It's a classic. I think he was just hovering it as a shout out to the times where Thresh was a playable champion in League of Legends. Alas.
I mean, it still is. We have seen it a little bit. Dreamby has been playing it over in the LEC, yeah?
Yeah, it is played occasionally. I feel like most of the time it's played, it's like when you're playing Jinx and Thresh's
Aphelios,
band.
yeah.
And sorry, Tom Ketch's band, yeah. But alas, it's going to be the Rel coming on through. So, JDG, a lot of like wombo combo power with the Rel and the Annie coming on through, and Ruler on the Varus as the hard carry. But EDG, fast, aggressive fights here with the Ari Viego Renekton.
Honestly, I really like what EDG have brought out here because you're playing for the fast resets with Monki and 0909. And a lot of the wins, they don't have a lot, they only have 3. A lot of the wins have come from Monki's back, actually carrying through these types of champions versus other teams. Obviously, we had a very nice graphic prepared for you guys, but you couldn't see it, so we're going to let you know anyway. The Monki has been one of the highlight players from the side of EDG. Out of a lot of the junglers, I'm pretty sure he has one of the highest damage per minute. Yeah, he's second in the entire league in terms of damage per minute. So yes, he does take a lot of resources. He's literally third in terms of how much gold he takes as a percentage overall, but he does give back to his team by being able to farm and being that carry for them.
Yeah, his damage per minute, like you say, second in the league. His damage percentage is in the percentage of his team's damage that he does, also second in the league for junglers. So Monki, definitely a highlight player to be looking at, and he's up against Kanavi today. One of the toughest matchups you can have in the LPL as a jungler. In his rookie split, let's see how he does against one of the greatest junglers the LPL has ever seen. It's time to jump into game number 1. And remember, JDG fighting against top esports for second seed here. They need a win today.
Okay, there were people that put their hearts and souls into these chants, okay? They were feeling it. I'm loving this.
Yeah, it felt a little up and down on the chants. Like, I'm not sure if all of the mics were turned on. It felt like people were shouting from a long way away. Remember, we're going to be in Beijing for this one in JDG's arena. It's a big old arena. I think it's like 5,000 seats or something, so
wow.
It often is packed out, and this will be a fan favorite matchup. Even though EDG are low in the standings, they've still got a lot of faithful fans out there. And JDG, obviously, home crowd advantage. You anticipate a lot of their fans, especially after their performance internationally last year. This is one of the most popular teams in the LPL right now.
Absolutely.
Ooh.
And for EDG, a little bit of a fall from grace, I want to say. I mean, I don't mean to keep hitting on the same thing, but it's been said over and over again. Doing so well, and then 3-12, barely picking up victories. The victories you do end up picking are off of the back of 1 or 2 individuals that are going monster mode. Vampire's had enough of Missing. He's going to just bonk him away. That's fair enough.
I mean, this is just laning against Halo Blade's Varus in a nutshell at level 1. Like, what can you do? The amount of damage
and playing Alistar, level 1. You're literally not a champion.
And I mean, Ziggs, to be honest, like, Ziggs is not exactly bringing a lot to the table at level 1. It's Takes a little while before he starts to get
However,
into
he's
things.
cosplaying Gnar. He does look a little bit like Gnar on this one.
Yeah, true. Has that little mask on. But yeah, slow and steady wins the race here for JDG. Just building that advantage for themselves. And will slowly but surely shove this wave in. Oh, nice knock-up coming on through. Vampire taking some big damage from Ruler there. And I mean, Ruler even gets back in time to get the cannon. So, although he lost 2 melees, so was it worth it sending Vampire back to lane, back to base? Probably.
He didn't.
Probably still worth
he didn't
it.
send him back to base, and he still missed two minions. How about that one?
Yeah.
It was a loss-loss scenario.
I will say though,
Obviously,
it's 18 to 5 on the CS. This is going to be tough. Zig's early levels not the greatest at CSing under tower. Speaking of under tower, Ala pulled under. And to be honest, this top lane matchup is a bit of a banger. Sheer has been showing that he's an exceptionally competent top laner, especially on this K'Sante. He was able to weather the 369 storm up there on the K'Sante. We'll see if Ala can do any better up against JDG's new top.
it is, however, not the best matchup in terms of seeing the skill expression between the two, because it's a very subdued matchup, if you will. That's a little back and forth. Both kind of tanky, both can sustain into the lane. I think a lot of the fights are going to break out around that level 6 mark. Maybe around Void Grabs when you have resets on the side of EDG. You've got the Ari, you've got the Viego. Level 6 onto the Renekton, very, very huge as well. Loves playing around these little skirmishes and objectives. Monki has found himself towards that bot side of the map, making sure that EDG's bot lane is actually safe to hold their wave where they want it, which is going to be quite in range of their towers, so they can keep safe their Ziggs. This is usually the time where you can very easily also back your support, send the support over the top side of the map and try to contest for those Void Grabs, especially since you have set up the wave in a way where it really does benefit the Ziggs sticking under tower. However, Ruler right here is matching the teleport, so it was a very, very quick reset for the bot lane of JDG. So that was a little bit of a dream, trying to keep the wave where you wanted it.
Yeah, and this is the thing. It's like you run the TP on the Ziggs, so you can get back, get a tier early, get back into lane and not fall behind too far. Well, Ruler's playing Lethality Virus. You can essentially just do the exact same thing. So he's gone back, got a tier, TP back to lane as well, and can continue to put that pressure on. We're talking about Monki versus Kanavi in the jungle here. Kanavi, level advantage right now, but 0909 trying to move in. Level 6 hit, and Kanavi's in trouble. Okay, the flash away from the charm. 0909 not quite ready for that summoner.
Again, we mentioned how level 6 was going to be a spike that you definitely want to fight around if you're EDG. Level 6 onto Ale, level 6 onto 0909. Instantly moving into Riva, trying to catch Kanavi off guard, taking his flash as well. Pretty big move right there from the side of EDG. A very great start. Allows also Monki to take every single Void Grab, knowing that he's even in CS, he's even in levels with Kanavi, so he can actually afford to do that. However, they were looking for a dive. Really quick cleave down onto the minion wave is going to stop any attempt from JDG on to dive in TheSnake on the Ziggs down bot lane. However, they're going to be happy enough to take the first, the second neutral objective on the map, which is going to be the first dragon.
So, Drake 1, going the way of JDG. So far, so good for them. Let's kind of take a second to step back, talk big win conditions here. We talked about the level 6 spike for EDG. It's not really worked out for them. With the Ziggs, it does kind of change the way you've got to play the game. Oh, Monki. Okay, well, missing won't find the stun. Kanavi should be able to finish this. Okay, there we go. Monki desperate to contest for that crab. I don't think a fight is actually going to kick off as much as missing makes you want to believe it. But yeah, overall, Ziggs can change the way you've got to play the map here. What do you expect from EDG? Now that the level 6 spike didn't really lead to anything significant, what's the port of call?
I feel like it's very easy to sort of keep your Ziggs later on in the game in a lane perma wave clearing, which allows you to sort of never have pressure, let's say, in the mid lane. And then you've got two very able split pushes. You've got the Ari and you've got the Renekton, very self-sufficient. You've got a lot of ability to 1v2 and outplay, if you will, but also a lot of ability to evade ganks with that. And also having Monki onto something like the Viego, one reset will be all it takes for you to snowball fight. So I feel like they have a pretty solid 1-3-1 if they want to play towards that. But I really like their team fight potential right here, because you've got Alistar to start the team fights for you, but also there's a lot of jump forward. Now, saying this doesn't make it very easy for Ziggs to play these fights, because when everyone jumps in, someone gets left behind and could potentially get flanked. So I think it's all going to be on the positioning of the Snake to try and stay as safe as possible while his entire team literally dives forward.
EDG moving into the jungle there. Wasn't sure if maybe that would turn into a bit of a scrap, but...
Oh, Tibers.
Oh, bit of a miss. Bit of a miss from Yagao. He's had a pretty awkward end to his split, honestly, Yagao. It's not been the greatest few games we've ever seen from him. Maybe taking it easy before playoffs kicks in. That's me giving
He's relaxing a little bit, you know?
That's me giving him the benefit of the doubt there. But we'll see, we'll see. Now, Annie, certainly a champion you would expect that with Flash available, Tibbers will be coming back up shortly. Should be able to have a lot of impact on this game. Vampire forced to Flash here as well. A little over-aggressive on that one.
Yeah, went a little bit too deep right there into Fog of War. There were 3 members of JDG around, so you definitely want to be flashing out. Ruler gets knocked underneath the tower, takes 2 tower shots.
And still wins the trade.
And still wins the trade. There is no TP on the Snake, so he needs to stay under tower. Therefore, support is being called towards the bottom of the map. So is the entirety of JDG. Kanavi's moving, Missing is moving, Yagao was moving for a second as well.
Yeah.
They might be diving these Ziggs. There is Flash, but there's no TP. So you can lose a lot of XP if you die.
Ult available for Ruler here. Wave not cleared just yet, as in the meantime, Vampire's just going to go down. That's first blood. And there we go. Ult lands, and it's a solo kill for Ruler. Missing and Kanavi arrive, but Ruler's not having any of it. That's his gold.
Well, that's his goal. However, they killed Alistar, and he didn't get any assist for that one. So it's only fair and square to not share anything with them. However, the Snake did manage to clear out the entire wave, so he's not going to lose as much as he would if he wasn't able to do that. Pop his ultimate on the wave, knowing that he's going to be going down sooner or later. I feel like Vampire want him as much time as possible to try and bite through that wave right before they both went down. However, this is 2 kills that went over to JDG, and we know very well that you cannot be giving these leads to the likes of Ruler and Kanavi.
Yeah.
Especially in like when it's Poke Virus and Lethality Virus, having Rectrix and Serrated Dirk, you don't even need a complete item. These 2 components of their own are absolutely disgusting in terms of value.
Monki moves to the top side to try and contest the grubs that have already been started by Kanavi. Sheer is pushed in. That's enough for Kanavi to be moved away here. Vampire had roamed up 2. Does the Snake actually TP'd mid? I don't know about that one, Chief. That's a bunch of plates that are going to go into Ruler's pockets.
Wait. They saw Kanavi pull out, and they thought maybe there was some sort of re-engage coming out of somewhere. I cannot find a different explanation right there. EDG might take all 5 members and go towards the top side of the map.
Okay.
Sheer is taking the 369 treatment.
Yeah, he's cleared the wave. I don't think he survives this one, though. Luckily, Vampire is very tanky, so able to make that one happen. Monki might just have to ult out of this one. CC chain doesn't work because he was pretending to be Viego. Ala the target now, flashes out to safety. A TP coming on through. The Snake already on the top lane. 5-man play underneath the top lane. Yagao flashes to safety. Has his stun available if he can find a target. Vampire will be that target. And there's a kill as Ruler has TP'd in and looking for a little bit more, waiting for the Q. And a double kill for Ruler. He's monstrous on this Lethality Virus.
A little bit over aggression right there from EDG gets absolutely shut down by the likes of JDG. Yes, you can dive the Cassante, but they overstayed their welcome towards the top side of the map. Ruler had the chance to push triple wave down the bot lane, takes 2 tire platings, TP's back top. Now, if you think this is deja vu, no, this is not 369, this is Sheer. We're in a different series, the same outcome. Cassante finally gets dived in this series today. Now, Missing will find Monki right then. Monki has to ult out, but you'll see Ale is stuck. He's stuck. He cannot walk into the jungle because it's enemy territory. He cannot walk into tower because he doesn't have one. And then Missing and Yagao walk back into tower. very importantly here, there is no T-burst onto Yagao, so he cannot defend himself underneath the tower, but a very nice TP from Ruler Clutch to win out this skirmish for themselves and pick up 2 more kills for himself. He didn't do it out of the kindness of his heart, you know?
And to be fair as well, like, he basically can't
oh
be
my god, the
punished for
items.
this. He can't be punished at all. Yeah, he's already got another serrated Dirk as well as his Ghost Blade.
Crazy.
But he can't be
I
punished
saw the
because
serrated
of
Dirk
this...
and I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, he's huge at this point. But because the Snake TP'd into the mid lane already, like, there's no punish available for EDG. It's a free teleport, essentially, for Ruler. And that'll be 2 Drakes as well for JDG. Everything looking hunky-dory. And I've got to be honest, we're talking about this Top Esports versus JDG race to 2nd place. Who can make it straight into double elimination? Well, Top Esports did win their series earlier today. We were asking about confidence, you know. I'm much more confident in JDG after the start of this game than what Top Esports showed us earlier on today. Monki going for an invade on the blue buff now is missing the target. Ooh, does get denied his crash down. I don't think it'll lead to too much more though, because Kanavi is diving in. Crescent Guard available. 0909 might just die. W almost available, and he hits it. 0909 down. Needs to be calling 999 at this point. He needs an ambulance. Sheer pulls him over the wall for a bonus. And in the meantime, Yagao's died.
Oh god. Don't worry about 999. He was playing in the previous series, guys. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Now Kanavi is gonna take the flash off of Vampire. The Snake is going to ult that bot lane tower. Ruler has taken everything. The top side of the map for JDG is so strong. I wonder how Yagao died on the top side of the map. If we can get a replay right here. Oh, he walked a little bit too close to the crocodile. He gets dived actually. Pops down the T-burst, but there is no stun. So Allah just walks in and just kills him. Dies himself, of course, after. But it's overall 1 for 1. You definitely do not want to be trading 1 for 1. Especially when you're on the Renekton and you want to be the strongest person. Like, you're the one making the play underneath the tower. So even a 1 for 1 is never a good idea. Especially when JDG are winning the skirmish around the map and taking an entire tower pre-14 down the bot lane. It's disaster all across the board for EDG.
Ruler is just terrified. Like, look at the items. He's perfect
Almost
CS as well. In fact, ahead of 10 CS per minute. He's got 155, 14.5 minutes. And he's almost at 2 items, like you say. That'll be Herald taken. He can move back to the mid lane. Has that enhanced recall, has teleport available. So when he's ready to go buy an item, he can quite happily just recall and return to the map to pick that up. Maybe has to flash. Ooh, good charm comes out from 0909. It's not enough damage.
Wait, that's
though.
it? They know that Ruler has no flash. That was a pretty nice play right there generated by EDG, but I'm saying EDG, it felt like the whole play was generated by just 0909. There was no follow-up right there. The Snake didn't ult on top of the charm. There was no follow-up by Monki. Didn't have his flash to ult in. So he felt like that was a pretty fair try right there by 0909, but it ended up just costing him his ultimate.
Herald in the mid lane here. Ruler did reset, did get his 2nd item, as we were talking about. You can see Edge of Night shield now onto him. Makes it even harder for that play that we just saw from 0909 to actually happen, right? Spell shield to block the charm. Makes things a little bit tougher. And Ruler, I mean, he's just walking away with this game, isn't he? 175 farm at 16 minutes. He's just doing whatever he wants. Can move up to
and
the
you can't
top
even
side
call
of the
him
map now.
idle. You can't even tell me that he's idle. He's just on a side lane just perma farming. He's been TPing to plays.
Yeah.
He's been contributing to everything as well as farming everything on the map. Ruler has been an absolute monster this series alongside Kanavi, of course.
Yeah.
Who was almost very close to like 100% kill participation. Only 2 kills, which happened to happen in the bot lane.
Yeah. Good discipline as well from JDG. As they're pushing that tier 1 tower. They respect the fact that Allah could have stuck around there, warding both the middle brush, using the blue ward on the middle brush in case he's in the alcove, using a normal ward on the first brush as well, just to make sure that they're not being flanked. It's really as easy as you like, it feels like right now. And next straight coming up in a minute's time, JDG should be a heavy, heavy favorite. Even with a Ziggs on the side of EDG, it's going to be difficult for them to get mid-prio because this lethality virus, I mean, he does what Ziggs does, but even better.
Yeah, the thing with Ziggs is he also really likes longevity when it comes to team fights. He likes having a strong front line. He likes being able to dish out his poke. Right here, your entire front line is diving in. You've got 4 divers by your side, so I feel like the key here for TheSnake is going to be trying to play the Ziggs like he plays his Jhin. You pretty much stay out of the fight and try to ult people when they're falling low, or try to ult a wave to try and sway the play. I think this is your job right here when it comes to the Ziggs. Apart from that, this is very similar to the top esports series that we watched when they also had a Draven that was incredibly fed. But once we saw the Viego get one reset into the team fights, it can get very scary. And every time I see a Viego, I kind of want to think of the value of the souls that you have to take and the follow-up they give you. You know, Rel is pretty good, Annie's pretty good, Zinzao is pretty good, so Cassante, of course. So 4 out of 5 souls, if any of them die, you've got pretty insane follow-up to pick up the soul and try to go on for more in this particular team fight. So there are some cases where you can say, hey, Monki and O9 find some sort of play and they take him down, but the chances are very slim. Kanavi's literally just on his own.
Kanavi
There's
playing,
no one around, Munch. There's no one around. He's just pressing W on whoever he sees.
The funny thing is, he'd eat already, so it's literally just playing poke Zinzao here. He's
Yeah.
using the W just to get a bit of damage down. On to 0909. And just, as Nymera would say, a full court press here from JDG. All 3 lanes. As Sheer just sits in that top side to make sure EDG can't do anything. The rest of the team can pressure on this bot lane. You've got Ruler pushing in the mid lane as well. He can rotate down to try and help, or he can try and threaten this tower himself. Has his ultimate available. There's a reasonable angle onto the Snake if he steps on too far forwards. That's a lot of damage available. He's going to be used.
Oh, the TP
behind from Ala. This is the play as 0909 commits to the TP as well to try and set the play up. Kanavi just dives straight onto this Ari. You can't find the play if you're the one being played onto. 0909 kites away though. Kanavi goes down. Reset for Monki and maybe a chance. 0909 barely survives the play. Is missing, trying to kite away once again. Ruler still strong, but he's basically 3v5 at this point. Make it even less than that. Monki goes down though, and Ala trying to escape. Auto down by Ruler. The Q max range, and it's not quite enough, but the Q3 from Sheer is plenty. The Snake dies to the red buff in the chicken camp, and somehow JDG come out on top.
Oh my god, Munch, I was getting deja vu by the top esports play where they threw the exact same way at the exact same choke point into a Viego team, and the Viego gets reset after reset after reset. EDG almost did it. They almost turned it around, but they stumbled upon the last boss, which is Ruler in this particular game. 3 full items on the guy, and I feel like 0909's TP was so late because Ale had already TP'd onto that position, so he had one flank. The second you've got more than 2 people, it's no longer a flank. Very nice knockup right there for Vampire. And Kanavi goes too deep, ults too late, and ends up dying. And again, we talked about the souls and the follow-up. Zinzao has fantastic follow-up if you pick up his soul.
Yeah.
All right, here, Monki picks up Yagao soul on the Annie. You're so squishy. Doesn't even get to ult out from this one. And Ruler just runs them down together with Sheer. It was almost the team fight that we're looking for. Almost.
Oh, the red buff bit as well on the Snake. It's so sad at the end of the play. Monki just trying to get his Krugs at this point. It was so good for so long in that fight, and then EDG just overstepped diving the tower. And Ruler still survived the entire time.
He's the new jungler now.
Yeah, he's ganking his own lane at this point. Returns to the bottom lane after years of being roaming around the map. Ala the target, there's just nothing he can do to survive.
I love this. I love this from Ruler. He's literally everywhere. You're expecting Kanavi to be hovering the top lane or the mid lane. It's not. It's literally the AD carry. You've got Ruler ganking every single side lane right now. He's so freakishly strong. And because of the Edge of Night, you cannot pin him down that easily either right now. JDG are playing this in both an aggressive but also calculated way, because they're pressuring where they know it's free, but also on the other side of the map, they're respecting. So you'll see while Ruler is making that play bot lane, which has netted them 700 gold by taking this tower, you'll see that on the other hand side, Yagao and Kanavi are playing very respectfully, clearing out the top side jungle, putting down some vision, and allowing Yagao to clear waves underneath the tower. So again, very well played by JDG, so calculated.
And I have to say, really impressed by Sheer once again. I feel like every single series I watch, I'm impressed by Sheer. Sheer's come out of nowhere, replaced Flandre, and honestly, I'm kind of passively in my head, Sheer's worked his way into the conversation of the great top laners in LPL right now. I feel like he's performing so consistently well. Now, granted, he's always on that Cassante, but here we go. Kanavi gets the blue buff, and then suddenly Tibbers is down. Ala down to half HP, trying to get onto Kanavi and force the fight, but the Crescent Guard is just too much. 0909 following up. Kanavi is still at half HP. They've used everything EDG had, and it's just nowhere near enough. That's 4 for 0. EDG getting obliterated by JDG.
Another incredible fight coming out here from JDG. They're gonna take the 4th dragon, which is gonna mean soul for themselves. They're gonna most likely sprint it towards the Baron as well. The death time is like 20 seconds long. There are double teleports right here. Triple teleports, if you will, from the set of EDG, if they so wish to pull them. But there are no major ultimates for none of them. If we see this one more time, EDG find themselves some imposters in the jungle. They try to catch them, but it's just not going to be enough. Ala has the right idea. He dives onto Kanavi. He's the only man who's isolated right there, but Kanavi just straight up 1v1s him.
Yeah.
He's just so strong right now. And then, well, when the rest of JDG comes around, it's just a very easy cleanup. But just...
Yeah. Yeah.
The Crocodile is supposed to one-shot you, and he's just got 1v1 by the jungler.
Yeah, and it's also the fact that Yagao is there with Tibbers down the entire time with 2 items. The Malignance is perma-procking in that jungle, and you're playing in jungle choke. So everybody is basically on fire the entire fight for EDG. Now, it's not big burst damage out from that Malignance with the Tibbers, but like, there's a lot of like almost invisible damage where you don't necessarily notice it because it's small ticks, but when it's ticking on 5 people the entire team fight, that's massive damage coming out from Yagao, plus the slow from Rylai's. It's so oppressive in those kind of clumped up fights. And I mean, at this point,
Absolutely.
you're 10,000 going up. What can you do as EDG? This is brutal.
And again, this is what we were looking for when we're seeing series like Top Esports versus AEL, JDG versus EDG. You are clearly the top 3 of the LPL. Oh, as I'm saying this, 0909 has to hold out, but you're top 3 of the LPL when you're playing against teams with only 3 wins at the very bottom of the standings. This is where you need to show how good, how calculated, how much better you are than them. And honestly, JDG have showed just that, and an extremely clean game from them.
Yeah.
Now pushing 2 sides at once with the Baron. Taking first tower, second one being pushed right now. Ruler's flanking.
On the top pin here is Kanavi. Trying to make things happen as well. Vampire engages onto Missing. Not really the target you want to start a fight onto, to be honest, is Ala. I think he's trying to
taking the wave with him.
Yeah, he's trying to cut off the next wave as well to deny the siege, but oh my lord, Ruler hits a Q on both carries, chunking them for a third and a quarter of their health, respectively. And JDG can move into the mid lane in him as well. And you know, JDG, they beat Top Esports this split. That was the moment where they kind of put themselves on the map properly. And they lost to Weibo. I'll start to lose faith, but a really solid game number 1 here against EDG. You expect them to win this series. Ooh. Oh, the flash not quite in range there from Ruler. As Monki dives underneath his own towers, gets onto the fountain. JDG just keep the ball rolling, but I don't think they can quite end. And Ala pops the dominance,
still there.
flashes in, looking for Missing, but Missing walks away. Ala can't make it happen, and the Snake is punished as well. That will be game. Double Tibbers, double Rel combo on top. Missing pays for his sins as he falls under the towers, but JDG, an absolute masterclass 27-minute win here against EDG in game 1.
The two words that come in mind for this game was clean and clinical. Coming out from JDG, they left no room to breathe for EDG. It was so difficult to find and win con. There was a glimpse of it, when that Viego started getting reset very early on in that skirmish around the Baron area. There were glimpses, but that's all it was. The second the Ray boss just stepped up, it was all over again.
Yeah, that felt one-sided to say the very least. JDG on form today and EDG struggling to put things on the board. We're going to jump into a break and then find out what happens